My mic. Okay. Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new to the channel, this is the Sammie Nicole FeeFee show. This is Sammie tonight, child. FeeFee has called in tonight. Yes, FeeFee has called in tonight. So if you wonder where FeeFee is, she has called in yet again tonight. Yes, y'all. She's called in yet again. So um, hopefully she'll be back Saturday. According to Sonya, it's about to get started Saturday with everything going on with the red versus the blue, allegedly. So we'll see. Come Saturday, according to Sonya, something big is supposed to be going on with the red and the blue. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, it's me, Sammie Nicole, tonight. As you're joining the live, yes, child, she called out tonight. FeeFee has called out tonight. But anyway, child, I know. I know. Anyway, as you're joining the live, please hit the like button. Please make sure you share. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe. Sonya says she has a man and is acting brand new on us. Pretty much. Pretty much. Hey, y'all, please like the live as you're coming in. Okay. So everybody heard this the June 8th and the June 11th call, that phone calls from prison just dropped, right? Shout out to phone calls from prison. Let me do my disclaimers first before I get into it, y'all. I'm too excited. First things first, everything we're going to be saying tonight is allegedly. Even my name is allegedly. Because why? We don't know these people. We don't know these people. Yes, Jay Blake. Her check is getting docked. Hey, Nesto, Shaka Shuffle, Walk of Shame. Hey, Jay Blake. Everything we're saying tonight is allegedly. Everything I'm saying tonight is allegedly because I don't know these people, okay? I do not know these people. So everything I'm saying tonight is allegedly. Secondly, all individuals are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. All individuals are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. Okay, boom. Now that we got this out the way, I got to talk about this June 2025 call first. Why Nesto tell that lady that it ain't no way her legs could be looking good after 2 weeks? Why did Nesto tell Sonya it ain't no way her legs can't be looking good after only being in the gym for 2 weeks? Why her little legs can't be looking good after 2 weeks in the gym? Why he do that lady like that? See, this is why you can't let a ninja get too comfortable thinking he can make little slick remarks about you, because they get slick at the mouth and they start trying you. Why can't her little legs be looking good after 2 weeks in the gym? He said, hold up now. He said, how your legs start looking good after 2 weeks in the gym? Baby, the way I hollered when he said that, the way I hollered when he said that. Let me see. Nesto's Jay Blake said, where's the lie? So he said he didn't lie. Nesto Shaka Shuffle Walker Shane said, why did he tell Sonya her hairline starts behind her ears? Jay Blake said the match sticks. Why he played? See, Sonya is a better woman than I ever be. I would never be comfortable with no man, even if he just joking, talking like that to me, and he locked up, and he locked up, sleeping on a hard pissy mattress. He's so afraid he can't even tell the YNs behind him to shut up and be quiet because he's scared he gonna get pounced on. But he always had a nerve and the audacity to talk crap about her and try to check her. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But baby, the way he reads her for filth, and she just be like, it's true, it's true. My legs do look good. They do look good. I'm like, girl, if you don't clap back, I would have told him, Ninja, at least I can go to the gym. Don't drop the soap, bitch. He got the right one. See, men like that, they know who to try. They know who to go in on. They just know. They just know. And you know what? They're a match made in heaven. He got the right woman for him. He really does. And I'm not mad at it. Because I just couldn't do it, y'all. The way my mouth set up, I just couldn't do it. Let me see what y'all saying. Toya said this is the closest he has come to flat out calling her a liar. Pretty much. Pretty much. He pretty much saying, bitch, you a lie and the truth ain't in you. How the hell your legs look good after 2 weeks in the gym? Like, really, bitch? That's basically he really wanted to say, bitch, stop lying, stop capping. How the hell your legs look that good? Ain't no way in hell. That's basically what he was saying to her. Pretty much. I hollered. I hollered, baby. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. But again, she a better woman than me because he would have got cussed out. I'm the only one that's putting money on your books, and you gonna play me like that. And here's the part about it. Everybody know, they know that every single thing they say on those phone calls, we're gonna discuss it. It's being talked about. So for him to say that to her, knowing that we all are going to talk about it and we're laughing right along with him as he's throwing shade with her, that would just piss me off. That would just piss me off. Like, he laughing at her too. Just like we laugh, he laughing too. That's why I'm like, you going in on us on YouTube and talking about bitter black women and negativity. I'm like, yo, ninja is on recorded phone calls talking crap about you, giving the women on YouTube ammunition. He laughing with us. He's a part of the peanut gallery. And you not mad at him? I mean, make it make sense. Your ninja be calling you out on the recorded phone calls. He literally thinks some of the same things that we think about you. So I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But that was hilarious. Yeah, he don't respect her at all, Jay Blake. Because I'm like, why would you say that on a recorded call? Really? Toya said she was low key embarrassed. I know she was, because I'm like, come on now. You know, like they've said 1,000 times on those calls. You know, we dissect every little thing that y'all say. So you know who's gonna eat that up. Like, come on now. Why are you talking about that lady like that? That's what I'm like, bitch, you need to be cussing your ninja out. Instead of talking about the bloggers, you need to cuss your ninja out and get your ninja in check. If you gonna stick by his side, y'all need to have a real conversation, whether it's email or text messages about, things that he's saying. I mean, he has no problem putting boundaries in place when you talk about his case. Remember when she was getting ready to start talking about his case on one of the calls from these recent June calls? He was like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. Okay. I gotta go. I gotta go. You see how he enforces his boundaries? When he don't like certain stuff that she's saying, even though she continues to push past them, he'll still advocate for himself and enforce them. And I'm like, she need to do the same thing too. In our seriousness, you need to set boundaries because he playing in your face like he been doing for the last 3 years, and you just go along with it. You just go along with it. So, but that was hilarious though. I mean, he definitely clocked her teeth. He clocked her teeth for sure. For sure. Behind a jail wall in a nasty, stinky jail cell. That's a low I pray I never reach. I have a ninja, old sickly ninja, locked up, reading me for filth and embarrassing me on a recorded call for thousands of people to hear and talk about and discuss and create think pieces around. May it never meet me. All right. Anyway, Jay Lake said straight clowning her. Toya said she is not eating the proper diet to build muscle. So yeah, I'm like, girl, you need like a lot of protein to be building up leg muscle. But I'm like, you know what? He could at least hyped her up. You know what I mean? He could at least went along with her and hyped her up. But that just goes to show you that he knows she's full of BS too. And he calling her out. Jay Blake said he don't care for that. He and Toya said he tried to shut her up on this call also, but she couldn't read the room. No, she couldn't. She could not. She couldn't at all. Mm-mm. But okay, so on this call, we also got to hear from Dion. So it sounds like Dion is, I guess, doing some warehouse work, which is cool. So, and he's trying to get a van going and, get some other businesses up and running. So he's definitely, entrepreneurial, which is great. It sounds like he's trying to make an honest living and he's not trying to go the same route that his dad went and cut corners. All he got to do is just make sure he, stay on top of his tents on his windows so he don't keep getting pulled over, or I guess stay out of the cities that he's repeatedly going to where he gets pulled over. So, but other than that, I'm glad to hear that Dion is, he's doing well and still trying to make some strides and encourage his dad and do his thing and he's putting stuff down, and Nesto say he's still picking it up. Dion say a lot of things that he say it go over our heads in the YouTube streets, but Nesto say not over his, he catch it. Okay, so I thought that was funny too. But I'm glad to hear that he doing all right. I'm glad to hear that Dion he's hanging in there. He's doing all right. He's doing what he's supposed to do. So that's good. That's good. Now, what did y'all think about Sonya implying that something is going to go down on Saturday, June 14th? What did y'all think about that? She said that when 47 has his parade this Saturday, there's supposed to be a red versus blue, and it's trying to incite some type of uproar. I thought that was crazy. And I was like, here she go with this conspiracy theory, y'all. But the way stuff is going and everything that's going on in LA, my heart goes out to all of our LA dynamic families. Child, I don't know what to think, y'all. I'm actually starting to think like anything could go down at this point, with the governor versus 47, the raids, y'all. It's just crazy. I feel like it's gonna be an intense summer. I don't know. Jay Blake says she always full of conspiracy theories. Always, always. And I'm like, I'm watching the news. I'm looking at everything that's going on, y'all. I'm like, this bitch. Do this bitch know something we don't know? Because she is a part of the 47 crew. And it's getting really real out here. That, again, my heart goes out to all of our dynamic family that live in California. It's getting real out here. It's not a game. It ain't nothing funny, ain't nothing cute, ain't nothing light about it. Let me see. Natasha said this is like Germany 1939. Like, no, like seriously. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's feeling like. There's certain events that are occurring, they're very similar to what happened in 1939. They're running very parallel. And, those 47 supporters, they are crazy. So I'm like, did she get an email? I wouldn't be surprised if she in a group text with them and they talking about, what they might do next. And maybe she in the group with her Abby as a white woman so she can get in the group or the Facebook group. Just something crazy. I'm like, girl, child, what? She talking about something gonna happen this Saturday. I'm like, baby, child, talking about the grid and the power going out and all of that. I'm like, child, what is going on? What is she talking about? Her crazy tail self. So he said, where did she come up with this stuff? I'm like, does she know something we don't know? Or maybe she just going down the YouTube conspiracy theory and watching too much Fox News. I don't know. But I'm like, baby, we don't need nothing else to go down the way things are going. We don't need nothing else to go down. It's been a hell of a last 6 months, to say the least. A hell of a last 6 months. Hey, X is too complicated. Natasha said Sonya is always on the wrong side. As a retired Navy veteran who served in 2 wars and retired 3 years ago, Sonya has no idea what she's talking about. Okay, thank you for your service too, Natasha. She said that's the plan. Protest for Trump's birthday on Saturday. Okay, I heard about that. Okay, but she's talking about they trying to incite like a red versus blue type of violence. My side says she doesn't realize they don't like her. Exactly. I mean, look at all the other people who were, I will vote for Donald. I will vote. I mean, they thought that he actually liked them and cared about them. And now they're on social media crying, about being deported or their family members being deported, and they're calling out us black people like, why aren't you supporting us? It's a mess. It's a mess. And we looking like my name Bennett, we ain't in it. Let me see. Jay Blake said she's just running her big mouth, regurgitating something she heard on the blogs. Toya said, I'm trying to be outside for Juneteenth this weekend. So what does she know that I don't? Do I need to stay home? Okay, girl. I'm like, what is she talking about? And the way things are going, baby, you can't play like that. Now, God don't give us a spirit of fear or timidity, but he do give us a spirit of discernment. All right. I ain't living in fear, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes open because, baby, I'm trying to be out this weekend too for Juneteenth. FeeFee talking about some she gonna go down to the mall and get her a Juneteenth outfit. I'm still debating if I'm gonna get me a Juneteenth outfit. I don't know yet. So I'm like, wait a minute now, Sonya. I hope this is just one of your little crazy rants that you do, girl, because wait a minute. And that's sad that we're in a state of the world now where something popping off on Saturday at that parade, it's not far fetched. Like, it's not being dramatic or fearful or what's the word I'm looking for? Paranoid to think that something like that could happen. You know what I mean? It's very plausible. Very possible. Yes, y'all. Please make sure y'all hitting the like button and sharing as you're coming in. Please hit the like button. But again, you can't live in fear. God doesn't give us a spirit of fear or timidity. So, you know what, Jay Blake? I'm gonna go ahead and get my outfits too. Is anybody else thinking about getting them some Juneteenth outfits? Do y'all already have Juneteenth outfits? Let's bring it back on a higher note. Yes, and thank you again. Yes, shout outs to Natasha, our vet. Shout out to all our vets in the dynamic family. My side said we aren't getting out there because we did our part on November 5th. Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, y'all made the decision to vote for who you wanted to vote for. You claimed that were educated and aware of his policies. So I'm gonna let y'all handle that. Natasha said, I'm turning Sonya into ice to get my $750. Jay Blake said, get y'all outfits and celebrate. Yes. Please hit the like button, y'all. Thank you, my time. Toya said, my outfits and wigs are already laid out. Juneteenth is a big deal where I'm from. Yeah, because you from Houston, right? So was it Galveston? It was somewhere in Texas where it got, I can never remember the city, but that's a big deal. Y'all been celebrating Juneteenth way before the rest of us have, like in the 80s, 90s, if not even earlier. So yes. Okay, so everybody getting their outfits for Juneteenth. Okay, let me go ahead and go to the mall then with FeeFee, get my outfits too for Juneteenth. Yes, the wisdom of God. Natasha said, "You are welcome. I appreciate the love. Absolutely. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna go ahead and celebrate this weekend for Juneteenth. We're not gonna live in fear. Um, Bridget said, need to borrow one of Pop the Sheikies. Because he do have the dashikis on dead. Girl, did y'all see Pop? Speaking of Pop Live, it was like one of his lives from like last week. And y'all know how I'm always talking about like attorney Simone, Red Wine, aka Girl Is That Legal on YouTube. She's been covering she does a lot of Diddy coverage. And she's currently in New York City right now covering the case. Baby, tell me why Pop done made his way over to attorney Simone Redwine, and while she going live, he popping up in her live. I said, baby, I knew he was gonna find his way around to that pretty red bone. She just his type too. I said, look at Pop trying to low key flirt with attorney Simone. He is a mess, y'all. But yeah, definitely we can borrow one of Pop's dashikis for sure. Shout out to Pop. He's doing his thing too with the coverage of the Diddy trial for sure. But yeah, so look at Pop trying to flirt with attorney Simone popping up in her live. He's something else, child. I tell you. But she's a beautiful woman. He got good taste. My side said he loves a light skinned woman. Yeah, he loves a red bone. He said that though in his live. He said he do love red bones. That's his preference. Shout out to the red bone, all the girls. That's his preference. We're gonna leave it at that. Okay. So anyway, getting back to the calls, y'all. Like I said, I'm happy that Nesto and Dion were able to talk to each other and just catch up. I'm always happy about that, and I'm always happy about Dion trying to make an honest living, and not try to go down the route of his father, whether it's a warehouse or job or washing cars, car wash, whatever. I'm happy. Yes, without ponytail. Exactly. I'm glad that they're able to come together as father and son and talk and catch up. I love that. I love that. I love that because I do feel like in all his relationships, she has found a way to insert herself. And so I'm happy to see when they're able to just communicate and it's just them and they're just talking about their life and what they're going through. X is too complicated says she popped in his live first day she got to New York. I know she did. I know she did. I know she did. Okay. Okay. I ain't surprised. She's a beautiful woman, Attorney Simone. She's a beautiful woman. So he does have great taste. He really does. Okay, y'all. So let me kind of talk about the other call, the older calls from July of 2023. Let me see. Toya said Galveston is where the first slaves were released after the emancipation in Texas. I'm from East Texas, but I currently live in Houston. The celebrations have already started. Oh, yes, Galveston. Thank you. I know it was one of the cities in Texas. Yes. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Okay, nice. Nice. We about to get the celebration started here in Atlanta too. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this weekend and just having a good time. I'm looking forward to it. It's Father's Day weekend too. On a side note, anybody doing anything for Father's Day? Anybody? I'm probably gonna go ahead and kick it with my daddy for Father's Day. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend. It's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. So you know what, Sonya, whatever conspiracy theories you done heard about, we were rebuking in the name of Jesus. How about that? We were rebuking. The devil is a liar. Yeah, 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 yeah. We rebuke it. All right. We rebuke it. It's gonna be a good, safe weekend. Everybody gonna have a good time. We're gonna be looking nice and cute in our Juneteenth outfits. We're gonna have fun at the cookout. We're gonna have a great Father's Day. Shout out to all the fathers out there. And we're gonna rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Okay. Amen. We having a good time. And ain't gonna be no war against red and blue. How about that? Plot that tea. All right. Toya said, I'm doing something with my husband Sunday, but tomorrow and she said, but tomorrow and Saturday belongs to me. Okay, good. And she said, I'm kid free. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. Okay. So take time out. Yes, definitely want you to take time out to yourself, Toya, and do whatever you want to do. Have your me time, get a massage, go out to eat, whatever you want to do that makes you happy. So that's perfect. I'm glad that you have your me time. And then you can see them on Sunday. They'll be all right. Yes, Natasha, rebuke it, rebuke it, rebuke it. The devil is a lie. All right. Now, I want to talk real quick about these July 2023 calls. And shout out to phone calls from prison again for releasing these more recent calls. And, shout out to Bougie because she was basically sharing how Nesto knew that he wasn't going to go to court Monday. So they knew, but I guess we were the only ones who didn't know the tea what was going on. So, okay. But anyway, let's talk about these July 2023 calls. Okay. So now with Sonya, she was talking about, this was when they were talking about going from, yeah, check out Bougie's live. Shout out to her. She did a live earlier today talking about that. So just a brief live. So check it out. So I don't know what's, as soon as we think we know what's gonna happen with this case, it's another curveball. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And then with Nesto telling Sonya to on this recent June 2025 calls to look at Cash Out's trial and try to see, what information she can garner from that. I don't know, y'all. We'll see. We'll see what's to come from all of this. But anyway, going back to the July 2023 call. So Sonya was telling Nesto how she was fearing that she might weird him out with them transitioning from a friendship to a relationship. And she basically was saying that she was scared to open up to him, and basically feeling like if she were to, let her emotions out, that she was scared that he was going to be weirded out or freaked out by it or whatever. Now, I feel like the reason she felt that way is because she knew intuitively she was pouring into a situation that wasn't going to serve her in the long run, personally. I feel like she was feeling some type of way, obviously, about him still being married and if he was going to go back to Shirley or not. And I feel like as women, I just feel like we had that intuition when we know a relationship is not going to probably serve us, but for whatever reason we may want what we want, and we just still continue to push through and move forward with it anyway. And I really feel like that's what she meant. I think she felt like she was going to drown him with her emotions and her feelings, and she was scared because she knew she was walking into a situation that wasn't really intended for her, or that could really pour back into her. And I feel like Sonya knew that. Listening to that call, to me, it comes off like she knew she was getting ready to waste her time messing with Nesto. That's how it comes off to me. Like, she knew, and that's why she was like, I don't wanna weird you out. I don't wanna overwhelm you, because when you start getting into your emotions, things change and people start feeling uncomfortable. Hey, Queen Lily, it messes up the vibe, when you go from friendship to situationship. But again, I just felt like she felt that way because she knew she was about to get herself into something that didn't serve her. And I feel like we tend to do that a lot as women. When we start to feel uncomfortable or have second thoughts or anxiety about it, I feel like that's because we intuitively know we about to get into some bullshit that we shouldn't be into. Let me see what y'all saying. Hey, Queen Lily, you had us crying in tears today when you was talking about 47 and talking about Obama for your mama. Queen Lily is hilarious, y'all. If y'all are not subscribed to her, please subscribe to Queen Lily. She is hilarious. When you had the fan, Queen Lily, you had us cracking up today. You are hilarious. Don't ever change. Let me see. Okay. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. I've just been like talking. Toya said, why couldn't she come out and say what she meant? She can never articulate her feelings verbally to him. Excess Complicated said she was scared to open up to him because she opened her legs first day. Oh, okay, girl, bye. Toya said it's funny because this call was a few days after the ultimatum with Shirley. Right. Basically, she was the backup plan, which we all knew that. And I feel like she knew that too intuitively. And that's another reason why she was feeling so uneasy in her spirit, because she know she was number two. And that's why she was afraid. Because she knew. She knew it wasn't gonna serve her. But she wanted the position so bad. It's like sometimes when you in life where you pray for something and you want something so bad, and then you get it, and then you realize that it's really not in your best interest, it's really not serving you, and that you really don't want it. It's kind of like that. That's how I kind of like look at it. um Let me see. X is too complicated says she should feel that way when she knew he was married when she got with him. Exactly, because she knew she was entering into a situation that she shouldn't be in, that wasn't going to pour back into her, and that wasn't going to serve her. Toya said, I think she knew she was his second option and she didn't think he would stay around. Right. My side says she has intuition, but she's immature. That's really a good point, my side. That's well said. She definitely has the intuition, but she's immature and she doesn't trust it. I know we come on here and we kiki and we talk about her, but she does have a strong intuition. She does. I'm gonna give you that, Sonya. You do have a strong intuition, but you don't listen to it and you are immature. Like Mai Tai said, you don't trust it. You don't trust it at all. And that's why you always end up in a messed up situation because you don't trust it. Y'all, not Miss Fee showing up in the chat when her behind supposed to be sitting right here next to me doing the show. Baby, I'm done with black people. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what black people do. Y'all, Miss Fee is in the chat right now. Kikiing when she should have her African American behind sitting to my left. This is why we can't get right as a people. When y'all say no, 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 don't write FeeFee up. Don't put FeeFee on the pip. For y'all that are about to watch the replay, FeeFee is in the chat right now while I'm live. Shout out to the replay game. Chatting it up, talking about some hey y'all and putting hearts in the chat. This is why she's staying on that pip, y'all. We just won't do right. We just won't do right as a people. And this is why we in the situation we in. Lord have mercy. Jay Blake, her channel is Queen Lily. That's her channel. Y'all gotta check Queen Lily out. She is hilarious. She gonna pop up in the chat talking about some mama gotta have a life too. That's horrible. This is y'all. FeeFee is in the chat right now. This is why she's staying on the pit. Yes, Jay Blake. Sonya is very silly and very immature. Yes, and she has the intuition, and that's a gift from God. She knows, and she can sense and feel things before they happen. But she's so desperate and she's so anxious to have a man and to, have some type of companionship. She betrays herself. And so I don't think I feel like her anger is misdirected. It's not us that you need to be mad at, bitch. It's yourself that you need to be mad at because you have the intuition, you have the discernment, but you betray yourself each and every single time. And you're mad and upset with yourself. And that's why instead of you taking accountability as a grown woman, you instead project it onto other women and other people. So that's who you really mad at. You really mad at yourself. You betray and disrespect yourself every time you interact with our Nesto. You betrayed yourself when you decided to move forward with him. So that's who you really mad at. You really mad at you. Because at the end of the day, we're not MF and factor like Evelyn Lozada says in your life. You've betrayed you. So that's another lesson in love for tonight. Don't betray yourself, y'all. Mine said, Miss B, how are you today? See, just awful. In the chat. Toya said she sounded like she wanted to be sure she was the woman he wanted. Now that Shirley was gone and she didn't want to do or say something to run him off. Exactly. And that's coming from a place of desperation and coming from a place of fear and coming from a place of lack. That's her betraying herself. She betraying herself. And to y'all, I think that Sonya was also fearful about opening up to Ernesto and giving Ernesto, pouring out her heart to him. She was so reluctant because she's seen how he did Shirley. She's seen the way his ex did his wife, Shirley. And I think that also gave her some hesitation because she saw how things turned up for Shirley. And you can't convince me that she wasn't at least a teeny bit worried that she would have the same outcome and that he could potentially do her the same way. That's why she always trying to push to him. It's not always about money. In the July 2023 call, she was like, as long as you have your health, you have your freedom, you know, that's what really matters in life, not money. And Nesto was like, yeah, I done been rich and I done been broke. And Sonya was like, yeah, hey, I done been broke too. That's what matters, your health, your freedom, not money. That's why she's always trying to push that simple life onto him. Let me see. Jay Blake said, "Hey Fee, enjoy your hot girl summer." Sis, see Jay Blake, you ain't right. You ain't right. You encouraging her. My tie some you go Fee. Y'all encouraging her. She need to be right here. She need to be right here sitting next to me. That's why that check gonna be Nathan, not nothing. It's gonna be Nathan. Okay. Yes, y'all check out Queen Lily. She is hilarious. Toya said, "I'm not mad at Fee." See. Jay Blake said, but mad at yourself than the men who've hurt you. Yes. I feel like Sonya, your anger is misdirected. It's not us that you're mad at. It's that man you mad at. And it's yourself you're mad at. X is too complicated. Said, in my opinion, Sonya was playing the 12-step game. I know I'm the side chick, but really I want to be the main chick, but in Sonya case, side rooster. All right. Mary Mills says she would never be Shirley. Of course not. Yeah. Um, she don't have the coins. Yeah. Jay Lake said, what is she really getting out of this relationship? Nothing. Yeah. Mary Mills said he is going to do her the same way. Miss Fee said, not her in the chat still. I am trying to be booed up with my man all summer. Child, FeeFee is a mess. Not FeeFee in the chat, communicating with the chat. My Ty said, just like that time Nesto was talking to Dion and Dre about her, and she still stayed. Yep. When he talked about she was used to regular men, he was a premium man, had the audacity to call himself a premium man. Again, she a better woman than I'd ever be. I wish I would continue to support a ninja that goes on recorded phone calls that thousands are going to listen to and talk crap about me, and they're going to listen. That's intentional to me. That's an intentional slight. She's better than me. Inside, she knew she should leave him in that jail alone, but instead she turned it on us, said we were messy. Exactly. Misplaced and misdirected anger. We are not your enemy. That ninja that you talking about you love so much is your enemy. That is your ops. Jay Blake said, now, still say cut her check, but let her have fun, Sammie. No, the check is getting cut. It's getting cut because she should be sitting to my left. Okay, if I'm clocked in and working, she should be clocked in and working too now. Okay. Mary Mill said premium man with no coins at all. No coins at all. And not my tie said, I know that's right, FeeFee. When I get a man, I will be doing the same thing. Y'all a mess. Not y'all egging her on, child. Toya said, I think Sonya saw Nesto as a come up, but it didn't go how she thought. Yeah, I think that's a good point too. I also think that I think she thought that she was gonna get a little bit more clout than what she's gotten. You know, I definitely think she eats up this kind of like YouTube notoriety or fame that she thinks she has. But I definitely thought that when she did that interview with Tasha K, aka Keisha K, Toya, I think she thought she was gonna really blow up. And the fact that Keisha K, aka Tasha K interview didn't really, I mean, it got traction, but it didn't really blow up like, Gina's interview talking about Diddy with Tasha K did. I think that was a disappointment. I think that she was thinking that she would be able to, do like a tour of major platforms talking about Nesto. And she thought that Tasha K interview would be like the launching pad for that. And so I definitely think she thought she would get more notoriety for sure. Toya said the minute she found out that the public wanted to know who she was, she wanted to capitalize off this situation. Yes. But I think that, and she could have, Toya. She definitely could have capitalized off the situation, but everybody was eating her ass up so bad when she had her YouTube channel, Miss Waller. She had to retreat. Sis couldn't do it. These YouTube streets, it's not for the weak. You have to have tough, thick skin to be on YouTube, especially if you're on YouTube showing your face, right? Right now, what we're doing when I'm showing my face, we're having an energy exchange. I'm exposing myself, right? I don't know who all is watching me. I don't know who all is looking at me. It could be some people who like me and who enjoy me, and it could be some people who don't like what I say that's going to come across this video that might try to send me evil energy or evil eye. And it's a lot. And you have to build up your protection, and you have to build up, your skin. You have to have tough skin because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's going to leave what type of comment, et cetera, et cetera. And I think because it was so overwhelming, the backlash that she was getting, it was too much for her. But I feel like if she would have stuck it out, her YouTube would have been jumping because she was getting a lot of views. Now, were they in the comments cussing her out? Yes, they were. But she was getting a lot of motion, especially when this story first hit and her identity was first revealed. She was getting a lot of traction. And you know what? Even now, if you were smart, if I was Sonya, I would pick up that camera and vlog me driving around in my RV. I mean, I got the eyes on me. I got the people who want to see what I'm doing, who are nosy and care enough. I turn on my camera on my iPhone and I'll be riding around in that ranky janky RV. I let y'all see me stranded on the side of the road trying to fix my ranky danky RV. I'll go live, let y'all see my ponytail all over my head. I'll let you see the track sticking out. I'll let y'all see my missing edges, the bags under my eyes, the chip tooth. I'll let y'all see all of it and make a bag off of it because I know y'all would want to see me if she was smart. You know what I mean? Like if if you really want to make a come up off a ninja, that would be the way to do it. Be smart about it. Be savvy, be cunning, be strategic, but she's not focused enough. And that just goes to show you that, and we already knew this, but it's just yet another piece of evidence to show you that she really wasn't about that life when she was talking about the different business ventures that she was working on and that she was doing. She was capping. Because if you really are business minded and you really were about your business, you would have been monetized off the situation and picked up the camera and started recording yourself or, started doing reaction. I mean, you go on Manny's channel and you do it. So why not do it for your own channel and make money off of it? You know what I mean? So that's how I know she not really business minded. Like she was trying to make it seem when she first started talking on the phone with Nesto. Because I was looking at this lady on YouTube earlier today, and she lives in her van. Then I was looking at another lady who lives in her RV. You can make a lot of money off of that. A lot of money. A lot of money. So, that just goes to show you that the focus and the ingenuity is not there. It's not there. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Toya said definitely could have if she played her cards right. Jay Blake said she like her friend. They don't care. It's infamous. Toya said it's not as easy as she thought, and it got too hot. She should have pushed through, but she took it so personal and wasn't consistent. Right. That's something like for you to always critique Black women and say we're so emotional. It's like you the same way. You're emotional. That's why you got off. If you talking about you a tough person and you got thick skin, I would have pushed through. I would have came on live every day like, hey, hoes, it's the bitch you love to hate. What's up? Okay, I would be like, hey, hoes, it's the bony tail bitch you love to hate. What's up? And then y'all be in the comments, going in, watching. The numbers will go up, get monetized, and do the doggone thing. But she not focused. She not focused. She not focused. And she not structured. She she was capping. She not a business minded person. She was just talking to impress him. And why she felt the need to impress him is another sad and pathetic thing. But you really could have made a come up off this dude. You could have used him. You could have used him and made a come up off of him. My side said just like that lady living in the car. Yeah. What's that lady's name? Mother Nader? Mother Nader. She's a black woman with the long hair, and she lives in her car, and she got like millions of followers across TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Mother Nader. She could have did something like that. X is too complicated. Said, I'm not going to watch her. Okay, X is too complicated wouldn't watch you, but it'd be a heck of a lot of us who'd be looking to be nosing. Toya said she never finishes any tasks or stay focused. Even for Nesto, she never found channel 2 or 5 on this last call. Right. Because he wanted her to figure out what was going on with that cash out trial. Jay Blake said she's not smart and she thinks she's too good to be vulnerable. Yeah. Child, I would have been doing reaction videos to the phone calls that phone calls from prison drop. I mean, she already was trying to release the calls herself. And then she was already going on V Lenore. She was going on Manny's platform and, talking about the case and her experience. I'm like, you should have just stuck with your channel. Jay Blake said he tried to get her to do that. Yeah, she wasn't focused. LSW Smile said, I think Nesto kept her around because he thought he could use her fake legal expertise. Right. Right. Which is interesting, LSW Smile, because with her being a paralegal, you would think that she would know how to communicate effectively and appropriately with lawyers. And for her to be, a paralegal, she pretty much bulldozed through and helped to really ruin his relationships with his attorneys because she didn't know how to talk to them. She didn't know how to communicate effectively, which I found to be very interesting because I'm like, you work with attorneys all the time. How you not know how to talk to them? You can't be talking to them crazy and think that they still going to be willing to, work with you and do what they need to do for you in a timely manner. Toya said Nessa told her it was 50 cents click and she couldn't follow through. Yes, Jay Lake said she doesn't have that type of confidence. No, she doesn't. My side said, meanwhile, you are making money. Yeah, she could have completely monetized off of this. LSW Smile says she doesn't have the brains to take advantage of the situation. Yeah, clearly not. The brains and the focus is not where it needs to be. So, oh well. Try to help you out, bitch. Exit Too Complicated says she never had a business mind before we met her. She lost all of her property. She was for the streets in her earlier years in her teens. All right, everything our chat say is what? Allegedly. My side said not finishing tasks comes off as ADHD. Yeah. Toya said she was doing a whole press tour. Right. Paralegal. Uh Toya said, I'm still not buying that Sonya was a paralegal. Okay, so y'all saying y'all don't believe she was a paralegal. Okay. Bridget said, and Nesto ain't an inch closer to freedom. A whole press tour. Yeah. I'm like, she did all of that and he's still locked up. What was all this for? It felt like all this was done in vain to me. She is too into Nesto. Yeah. And I think too, to your point, Mary Mills, I think that shows another example of, how as women, we can have a lot of potential. We can have a lot of greatness in us. But all it takes is some no good trifling man to come into our life, and just like that, he can easily, throw us off task if, we don't have a strong sense of self, and if we're not disciplined enough. And you usually hear stories about that, with younger women in their teens and early 20s. Maybe they were trying to go to school to be a lawyer or a nurse or a doctor, and then they meet some no good man, and they get pregnant for them, or they just get caught up and their life just completely does a 180, and they end up going a different direction, where you have this 50 plus woman in this case, who has all these aspirations and goals allegedly, and then she gets so caught up and so consumed in what this man has going on, which really she should have left it to his wife and his family, who were the appropriate people to be consumed with what he had going on. But nonetheless, she decides to insert herself into it anyway, and she gets off track. You know what I mean? I'm like, and like I've said in previous shows, had she stayed focused on, whatever, goal she was trying to pursue, she could have damn made it happen by now, But that's just, again, that just shows you another example how we can sometimes get caught up with the wrong person, and it can completely throw us off our path. Let me see. Exes too complicated said they were scamming each other. That's how they met each other, on the dating app. Toya said at my time, it definitely sounds like ADHD. I've said that years ago. Toya says she is a paralegal but doesn't understand the power of staying silent and not talking no recorded phone calls to this day. She is still trying to throw shade and sneak diss the DA in Fulton. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, you know, I just think she could have really capitalized off this situation if she would have been focused and, not being so worried about Nesto, and her talking about she didn't want him to feel forced into a relationship. Well, bitch, he didn't have nobody else, So what other options did he really have? You know what I mean? I feel like she was worried about that for nothing, because you were his only option. And he pretty much said that to her on the phone, like, them folk already told me what they gonna do, what they got going on in their life, and so I'm gonna move on to you. So there's no reason for you to feel like I'm going to feel forced. Because she felt like, well, when people in a relationship, they usually want to take time out to themselves. Girl, he needs you. He is destitute and struggling and locked up. He needs you. He don't need no time. When men be locked up and down bad, they don't want to take a time to heal and be to themselves. That's what we as women do. Men, they looking for their next victim, or just not even men, just people in general, especially when they're locked up like that, because women do it too. So let me correct myself. So I'll say people, when people are down bad and locked up like that they jump from relationship to relationship for stability so they can survive. So of course he's telling you, no, I don't need no time to be by myself or to decompress or heal. You're it. Yes, my side, you're it. I need somebody else to put money on my books. I need somebody else to call. I need somebody else to trauma bond with and emotionally dump on. So yeah, you're good. You're it. I'm good. Yeah, my side said Nesto said tag bitch. Exactly. He said tag bitch, you're it. What break? I don't need no break, bitch. I don't need no break, bitch. You next. I need you to start putting money on my books. I need you to continue to communicate with my attorneys and harass them and bug them. And I need you to continue to send messages to my family members and try to see if they'll give a few dollars, which we know they wouldn't. And so it's you now. You wanted the position, you're hired. You are now my elite employee. So I don't need a break. And that's pretty much what he was telling her. And that's why he was like, I want to slow grind, and I want to get to know you. I want to continue to get to know you. We ain't got nothing but time. I'm gonna be in here for a minute. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me see what y'all saying. Jay Blake said all that line she did about her business and property, she conned him. Yeah, it's like who's zooming who. Um, yes, my son. Now get on your MF and job, right? No Diddy. When did he tell that girl, you need to do your job? I'm doing my job. You need to do your job. Mary Neal said Sonya could have used the money she paid for the RV on Nesto bond. She feels she has the upper hand when he's in jail. She knows where he's at. Of course, it definitely gives her more power in the relationship dynamic, him being locked up. Because if he was free, baby, they would be going at it. Because she wouldn't be able to control him. She would not be able to control him. He'd be ripping and running and doing God knows what else. She wouldn't be able to control him if he was free. Yeah, it just wouldn't happen. X is too complicated said Nesto thought Sonya had money because of the family construction business. I can see that, yeah. Jay Blake said she definitely didn't know the law. Where did she get her education from? All right. Jay Blake said he would be running from her mouth. Yeah, he would have been left if he was free. Yeah, because she definitely wouldn't have been able to control him. Nesto is one of those men that you're not going to be able to control. Like, you're not going to be able to tell him, no, you need to stay home with me tonight. You're not going out tonight. He's not that type of man. He's a free spirit. He moves and does what he wants to do. That's why he was able to stay married to Shirley Strawberry for so long, in my personal opinion. Hey, Queen Black, because she wasn't on him like that. Not to say that she wasn't asking questions and she didn't get upset, because we know that when he would come home late, sometimes she would be going off on him. But for the most part, he had a long leash, quote unquote. He had a lot of free reign to be on the bus and in Miami and in LA and here and there and everywhere across the world, So yeah. So anyway, just continuing on with that call, what's some other things that stood out to me? Now the part where yeah, Toya, Shirley didn't press him too much. When she would press him, but it wasn't too much. You're right. She didn't put too much pressure on him. It was every now and again, but it wasn't consistent. With Sonya, she would be on his ass. Like, where you at? What you doing? Who you with? Especially if God forbid he were to bond out, Sonya would be clocking his every move. But another part about that call that stood out to me, when Nessa was saying that he was telling Sonya how he was happy that he doesn't have to compare or compete with the person he was in a relationship with. And I thought that was very, very interesting because, we've been saying it on several shows how, we all thought that Nesto was jealous of Shirley. And just him saying that he was happy he didn't have to compare or compete, I think that kind of attested to that. And also, too, I felt like he was trying to imply that he didn't have to compare or compete with Sheraton or Debbie for Shirley's, time, her love, her affection, and her resources. Hold on. What did y'all think about that? Did y'all see that way too? When Nesta was like, I'm happy that I don't have to compare or compete. So I guess I thought that was very interesting. Toya said, and maybe her job also. Okay. Because I definitely feel like he was comparing, yeah, her being the breadwinner, because we know Shirley was making more money than him and they weren't on the same financial level. And I also felt like he had to compete with Debbie and Sheraton and the grandbabies for Shirley's love and affection. I thought that was very, very interesting. And I guess with Sonya, because she, was not on the same financial level as Shirley, and you know, her kids, they're self-sufficient. She's more so, leaning on them at times. I thought that was very, very telling. I thought that was very deep. And that really caught my eye when he said that. Like, I'm happy. Like, he felt like during his entire marriage with Shirley, it was always competition. It was always comparison. Like, basically trying to imply like he really didn't have a lot of peace. Let me see what y'all saying. Jay Blake said he will run her crazier than she already is if he were out. Yeah, I can see that. Toya said, oh, I read that already. Mary Mills said he knew he wasn't on Shirley level. Jay Blake said he was tired of being fake. He said that as well. That was my next point I was going to talk about, Jay Blake. He said he was tired of being fake. He didn't want, what did he say? He said he doesn't want a fake relationship. So I feel like that's where Sonya got that from. Y'all remember when Sonya used to do her lives on Miss Waller? And she was basically trying to imply like they had a Hollywood marriage. So that's the call she was referring to. Like that's the conversation she was referring to. So that helped, kind of connect the dots. Like, oh, okay. So he was basically implying like their relationship was kind of fake. It wasn't genuine. Baby, Nesto done told all the tea on these calls. Baby. I said, that's some tea right there. You said you don't want to be fake anymore. You don't want a fake relationship. I said, oh, that I clocked that tea. Sonya said Shirley chose her career over her own daughter, so maybe he felt like he came second. I can see that. She said he really didn't like or love her. No, he told Dre that. Mary Mills says Sonya threw away the baby and the dolls for Nesto. Toya said maybe he felt like Shirley wanted him to be like Steve. Mary Mills said it was only fake on his side. My side said yes, that's what reminded me of. Jay Blake said I believe Sonya is more his level of woman he deserves. I do too. I think that they're more compatible for sure. I do. And they said that on that call too, right? Sonya was like, yeah, I'm just like you. Nesto was like, yeah, we got the same mindset. We think alike. And Sonya was like, yeah, it's like dating myself. So they definitely are kindred spirits. I would say so. She's a Virgo. He's a Capricorn. Got that earth energy. He's a liar, manipulator, slickster. She's the same. So it works. It works. They are more compatible. I do think they're more compatible than Nesto and Shirley were. No, that might be an unpopular opinion, but I do think so. Exes Who Complicated said, I think he was running game on her because he still wants to be with Shirley purse strings. As I said, he was Shirley arm candy. I could see that. He definitely was her arm candy. Yeah. And I know beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Everybody doesn't think he's attractive, but I definitely think he was eye candy for her in Shirley's mind. It don't matter what we think because we wasn't the one sleeping with her or being with her. It was what Shirley thinks. And I definitely think she thought he was eye candy. But I thought that was some tea. Like, is he trying to, so he basically saying his relationship with Shirley was fake, and that to me it also came off like he was trying to imply that Shirley was fake. Like, I don't want a fake relationship. I don't want to be with nobody that's fake. I want real. I want genuine. And to me, that's kind of how it comes off as, like she was fake to him. Her own husband saying that. So again, if one thing that Ninja Nesto gonna do, he gonna throw shade towards the woman that's loving him. He gonna kick you while you down as a woman. That's one thing Nesto gonna do. He gonna talk about you, and he gonna kick you while you down. He gonna talk about you, and he gonna tell your business. I can't stand a man that kiss and tell. I don't know about y'all, but I can't stand a man that get mad and want to tell your business. I can't stand a man like that. I can't. I can't. My side said he definitely was implying that. Yeah, he definitely was trying to imply that Shirley was fake and that their relationship is fake. And he was like, I don't like that fake stuff. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy I don't have to be with that fake bitch. That's basically what he was wanting to say. Like, I feel relieved. I don't have to deal with the fake stuff no more. I can finally be real and be my full, authentic self with you. And I'm happy. And I feel relieved. It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. But I'm like, how you gonna look at Shirley as fake and you fake too? You weren't being fully transparent with Shirley about how you felt. So you judging her for being fake, but Ninja, you fake too. You ain't no better. You're not. Mary Mill said how he was telling Sonya what she wanted to hear to get money on his books. I think that's true too, for sure. And she said that. She was like, "Oh, you saying all these things, and even when you bring up God, yeah, you want to bring up God. When you talking about sex, you don't bring up God. You just saying stuff to say stuff. Sounding good." She called him out on that because she know her intuition is on point. She just chooses to betray herself and go against herself because of low self esteem, and she doesn't trust herself, and she doesn't like or love herself. But her intuition is on point. Toya said he stayed 8 years, so if it was fake, he played into it also. Exactly. Exactly. He was fake as well. So I don't know where this I'm real and you're fake, where that energy is coming from. Like, where do you take this position of morale or transparency or authenticity where you feel like you can call out somebody else from being fake when you're doing the same exact thing? You're fake, Nesto. You're not being honest about how you feel about things. You're fake. That's fake. Telling your wife you love her, you appreciate her, she means the world to you, then hanging up the phone and getting on with your mistress or your side chick to talk crap about the wife that you just got done saying that you love and you appreciate. That's fake. That's the definition of fake. That's fake. So how you gonna get mad at somebody for doing the same thing that you do? You're fake. My side said yes. Nesto was spilling tea. Yeah, Nesto gonna spill some tea now. He gonna tell you business. Again, I can't stand no lover like that. I hate that. It's a ick of mine. Um, Carla M said he couldn't talk the way he wanted. She was who she is, but he always was restrained. That OG jail mentality. He is free to talk his talk and be broke. Yeah, he definitely can talk more freely with Sonia. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shame said if it wasn't for Show's income, he would not have obtained the money and the things he had. Yeah. And if it wasn't for Show's income, Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shame, he wouldn't be able to talk shit on the phone with Sonya, right? Toya said exactly. He was faking right along with her if we go by his logic. Yeah. And then Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shane said the relationship wasn't genuine for him. Yes, yeah. So I just thought that was very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Very okay. One last thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. One last thing, and I'm gonna let y'all go. Have y'all heard about Porsha Williams from Real Housewives of Atlanta? She was granted well, she went to court with her estranged ex-husband Simon, and her prenup was enforced by the judge. The judge granted her request to have her prenup enforced. So this happened this past Tuesday. So that's a big win for Porsha. So Porsha gets to stay in the house for now, the beautiful multi-million-dollar Buckhead mansion. And Simon, he has been officially deported back to Nigeria. They had the court hearing this past Tuesday via Zoom because she's currently in Scotland filming Traders, and Simon is in Nigeria. But she won. She requested that the court have her prenup agreement with Simon enforced, and they agreed, and the judge has enforced her prenup. So she gets to stay in her home for now. Um, if they decide to sell their home, she'll get a certain percentage of the equity. It'll go into a trust fund. And Simon has to resume paying her a $40,000 allowance. And so that's been all over social media. She's got it going on. Now, a lot of people are upset with Porsha because they feel like she married Simon for money and that she was disingenuous. Um, Water is wet. Water is wet. Okay. I don't. What's so shocking about that? Water is wet. I mean, if you are familiar with Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you're familiar with Porsha even a little bit, she married him for money. Yes, water is wet. You also know that she still has feelings for her child's father, Dennis McKinley. That was just her trying to get her lit back and show Dennis that she could do better. That's all that was. Yes, that's they're both are evil, Sonya and Nesto. Yes. Exes Too Complicated said, well, his broke ass should have not approached Shirley being fake. Dre warned him not to play games with those folks. Yeah. Yes. Carla said, you are doing a good job holding it down on these YouTube streets. Thank you, Carla, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shane said, Nesto wants somebody who doesn't mind doing criminal activities. All right. X is Too Complicated said, Nesto can keep up with his fake persona because he approached Shirley with his fake business and how he can level her up. Yep. He's being fake when talking to Sonya. Toya says she isn't the first and won't be the last. Yes. Toya said, not saying I agree with P, but let's not act like we didn't know this. Right. Again, water is wet. So congratulations to you, Porsha. Um, no word yet if Simon is going to appeal the court's decision on enforcing the prenup. Simon said that at the time he agreed to those terms. Now, these terms were in their prenup. It was in writing in black and white. However, Simon is arguing that the reason he agreed to, the $40,000 allowance is because at the time when they were drafting up their prenup, Porsha had left the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So technically, she had no income. So Simon was like, okay, well, I'm going to continue. I'm going to give you a $40,000 allowance. You're not working anymore. You're going to be a homemaker, a stay-at-home wife. Cool. You're not working. You leaving the show. I'll give you a $40,000 allowance because you're not working. Well, since them separating, Porsha decided to go back on RHOA. So Simon is like, well, that $40,000 monthly allowance should not be enforced because she is not agreeing to the terms we initially agreed upon. And so she doesn't deserve the $40K, but the judge saw differently. So we'll see if Simon tries to appeal the court's decision to enforce the prenup. But as of right now, it's a win for Porsha. So congratulations to Porsha. Prenups aren't always a bad thing. I know people get offended when people bring up the word prenup, but if you can work it out the way Porsha worked it out, I'm here for a prenup. I'm here for a prenup. They initially they thought they both were signing the prenup to protect their assets, and I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? A lot of women are upset with Porsha, but I ain't mad at Porsha. It ain't my money. Um, Game recognized game. Do I think that Simon genuinely cared about Porsha and loved her? I do. Do I think that Porsha was in love with Simon? No. I think Dennis was the only man she's ever really been in love with. Her child's father, just based off of the body language and the behavior and the interaction and the chemistry they have. But it is what it is. Simon, these men gotta learn. These men gotta learn. It is what it is. My Ty said, what are they going to do to him in Africa? Well, he's in Nigeria, so they're not gonna do nothing to him. He good. Now, I don't know if he's gonna appeal. I don't know if he's gonna find a way to not make the payments, if he's gonna drag it out. Because he is in Nigeria. So I guess you're saying, like, what are they gonna can they enforce it with him being in Nigeria? That's a good point. I don't know. We'll see if she gets the money. Because if anybody has ever had any court dealings, you know that you can be awarded a certain amount of a certain amount of monies, and it doesn't always guarantee that the person who owes it to you pays it on time. I've seen several situations where people have been awarded a certain amount of monies from a person, and they still have to go back to court because that person is in contempt. They didn't make the payment. they're not paying on time. So I guess to your point, my time, just because she had a win in court, it doesn't necessarily mean that he'll pay it. He'll pay it on time, especially with him being overseas in Nigeria. I'm sure there's a lot of excuses he can come up with. I'm sure there's a lot of things he could do legally to tie things up to where they may stay in court to in order for her to fight to actually get him to start making those payments into her bank account. So I don't know. But it's going to be very interesting to see how he tries to respond to the situation. I don't know if he's just going to say, okay, you win, I'll pay, or if he, like I said, is going to find a way to try to hold her up and with paperwork and legal fees in court to where she has to keep going back and back into court to enforce the judge's judgment to get him to pay. So I don't know. We'll see. So he said Simon should have his own prenup that included those conditions. Yeah, I mean they both signed and reviewed the prenup and added their terms of conditions. So I don't know. I don't know. He said that's what he agreed to at the time because she wasn't working. So, child, we'll see. We'll see. But Porsha is currently overseas filming Traders. She's gonna be on the new season of Traders. If y'all are not familiar with Traders, it's on Peacock. Y'all check it out, especially the season. I think season 2. Watch season 2 on Peacock with Phaedra from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's a game show, murder mystery kind of game show. It's really good. But yeah, that's what Porsha's currently filming. So we'll see, child, what happens. So congratulations again to you, Porsha. Mary Mills said it serves him right. Porsha knew he was married. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thinking with the little head and not the big head. It'll get you messed up every time. Look at Nesto where he's at. Toya said he should have said that if she was working, then he shouldn't have to pay the allowance. Yeah. Toya said Phaedra was excellent on Trader. She was great. So we'll see how Porsha does. But all right, y'all. That's all I got. I ain't got no more. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. Y'all, FeeFee is off the chain. She been in the chat the whole live when she should be sitting to the left of me, but this is why she will stay on the pip. So for all the people who say, don't put her on the pip, give her grace. Tonight's show is the prime example of why she is staying on the pip. She's not getting off the performance improvement plan. So I don't want to hear no more. Give her grace. Give her grace. I don't want to hear it. My side says so. She won. So did he cheat? I don't know. He claimed that Porsha was talking on the phone to other men and may have possibly cheated on him. But when he was married to his wife prior to Porsha, Fallon said he was cheating on her. His ex-wife Fallon, the one right before Porsha, she said Simon was cheating on her. And Simon said she was cheating on him. So allegedly they were cheating on each other. But all right, y'all, have a great night. I'll see you guys later. Take care and enjoy your weekend. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for joining. And hit the like button on your way out. If you've been watching in the bushes and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please subscribe. And also make sure you follow us on Facebook, okay? Make sure you follow us on Facebook. We need about 300 and something more good players to follow us on Facebook. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a great night. Peace.